What?
Fixing it in post.
Oh, yeah. Hi, everybody. You are watching The Main Viewer. We have so much to talk about, so let's get into it. First things first, here's what we're going to talk about today. We have Star Trek at New York Comic Con this weekend. Who knew we'd talk about Star Trek, right? We have Deep Space Nine's Nana Visitor, Armin Shimmerman, and Sirach Lofton paying tribute to fallen comrades on a recent episode of The Seventh Rule. We have the possibility of Enterprise. That's Star Trek Enterprise.
I was like, which do you call it?
Yes, being incorporated in Lower Decks, everybody's favorite new animated comedy. We have Star Trek Prodigy news, of course. We have a beloved character returning. That's big, big news. And we've got news from The Good Place. And lastly, VTC Virtual Trek Con, it's basically like every week, we've got to issue an apology to several countries. It happens all the time. So of course you guys are probably used to this, but we do have to get to an apology to several countries today. Everybody, please welcome Melissa Longo is here wearing a shirt she made.
Yeah, I did. And I picked it at random today when I was off working. I was like, okay, Guinan works.
Great shirt.
Yeah.
Dr. Mohammed Noor is also here bringing the pleasantness.
Hello, always a pleasure to be on The Main Viewer. I think you guys all bring pleasantness.
Yeah, by bringing you. Anne-Marie, Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel, I should say, is also here. What's up, Anne-Marie?
Oh my gosh, a lot. Getting ready for New York Comic Con festivities.
That's so exciting.
That is big stuff.
Happy start
and
to Yom
lastly,
Kippur.
Yeah.
Lastly, Ryan T. Husk is here. That's me. And we are dropping our first poll of the day, which is, what do you want to start with? The beloved character returning, The Good Place, or an apology to countries? Countries, or other.
Oh my god.
Other.
We get to pick the countries.
Oh, I was.
YouTube.
That should be like a weekly thing.
Yeah.
All right, this week we are apologizing
Bolivia
to
and
Liechtenstein.
Grand tour.
Siberia.
Wow, I'm surprised at how few people are picking other so far. Anyway, we'll give it another 10 seconds of voting. Mohammed, how is everything in North Carolina? You had a little bit of Hurricane Ian coming your way, right?
Yeah, it blew through quite literally. Yeah, it was fine. It wasn't too bad right where I live. I mean, my neighborhood was fine. I mean, I think the other half of the neighborhood lost power because this big tree fell down and knocked down some power lines. I mean, I heard the coast was a little bit more damaged. So, thoughts and to the folks out there. Florida got hit pretty bad. So, apologies to the folks out there. I know you guys are still suffering. And of course, Puerto Rico, whew, very, very bad. So thinking of those folks.
Yeah. Okay. So kind of a hard transition to go from, but hey, here, let's talk about something fun all of a sudden. Nobody was curious about, not very many people were curious about The Good Place or the apology to countries. The Good Place got 11%, apology to countries got 21%. Other only got 5%. People are like, nah, other's too easy. So we're going to start with 63% of you saying a beloved character is returning.
Yay.
So we've got a beloved character returning, everybody. This has been announced. Anne-Marie, you know what this is, I think. So
I read so much Star Trek today, I can't even remember what I read.
So we can give you guys a couple hints, and maybe this will help you to know who this beloved character that is returning. Hint, his Star Trek character was in 2 episodes of 2 different Star Trek series. Here's another hint.
One each, you mean?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
also returning as a character that was in 3 different series already. See some confused faces all of a sudden.
Because it doesn't narrow the field at all.
And lastly, his brother is Saru's buddy.
In the show or at the actor?
Brother is Saru's buddy.
Yeah. Any guesses
What
in
is
the
going
live
on?
chat? This is what they want. They wanted the beloved character coming back.
It said 2 episodes in 2 different series. My first thought was Tom Riker.
Yeah, here are the hints
It
one more
became a
time.
riddle that like was hurting my head, so I gave up.
Here are the hints one more time. His Star Trek character was in 2 episodes of 2 different series, but he's also returning as a character that was in 3 different series already. And
Very
his
much?
brother,
No.
and his brother is
I don't know.
Saru's buddy.
I don't know.
Oh, so
It's just-
Peter C's playing it smart. He goes, Jeffrey
I know.
Combs,
When
just
in
because it's
doubt.
like, he's like, Jeffrey Combs played so many characters. It's a good guess.
Yeah, but like 2 episodes,
Yeah.
2 seasons, there's a lot more than that.
It's I know there's so many people who could be.
Mhm. Any guesses?
Saru doesn't even have that many buddies. So I'm like,
Is it actually Saru or is it Doug
I
Jones?
know.
yeah, like Ryan.
Or is it Noah? No, because he was only in 1.
Is it trick question and short treks is one of them?
Oh,
No. That was
Okay.
pretty clever though.
huh.
See any guesses in the chat looking through there aside from
We're
creepy
all like,
Jeffrey
what are
Combs?
you even talking about?
Somebody said Okono. Somebody says Quark. Tasha Yar. Or Rono. I don't know who that is.
Who?
The Riddler.
The Riddler. I love it. Okay, so the answer, of course, if you guys are ready for it, the answer, of course, is Frasier. Hey.
Oh yeah, I just sent you this article. Duh.
That's what I was saying. You're not allowed to guess. It's Frasier,
Yeah.
right?
This is breaking news also.
So listen to the hints again. His Star Trek character, Kelsey Grammer's Star Trek character, was in 2 episodes of 2 different series. That was
Well
Morgan
played.
Bateson, right? He was in Next Generation Cause and Effect, and he was
Mhm.
shown and mentioned for a second in Lower Decks season 3,
I forgot
episode
about that
1.
part.
That is so smart.
And then
Ooh.
first I said his Star Trek character was in 2 episodes of 2 different series, but he's also returning. That's what's his name? Kelsey Grammer. He's also returning as a character that was in 3 different series already. And his brother was Saru's buddy. So his brother Niles, the actor that played Niles, did the voice for the water guy in Hellboy when Saru was the water guy in Hellboy.
Oh, so it's Doug
Playing
Jones, not
Saru.
Saru.
Yes.
Was
Whatever. I'm a liar.
Jones.
Whatever. So the other
Wait, what's
big
the third
question
series
is
you played
And he was- oh, sorry.
Frasier in?
what?
What was the third series you played Frasier in?
Yes, that is exactly the poll question right now. Everybody knows that
Oh.
Kelsey Grammer played Frasier in Cheers and then reprised his role in Frasier. But apparently, he also played Frasier in a 3rd series. Is it Empty Nest, Wings, News Radio, or Mad About You? Once again, besides Cheers and Frasier, what is the 3rd show the character Frasier appeared in? Empty Nest, Wings, News Radio, or Mad About You? This is very Star Trek.
When I
centric
first
for
got
everybody.
because it has to do with Paramount Plus. And one of my favorite things about Paramount Plus when I just got it
Yeah,
was that it was like the
Exactly.
only place you could watch Wings.
Right. The
Should-
reason this is newsworthy is because Frasier is returning on Paramount Plus, our good buddies at Paramount Plus. Here you go. Sorry, what were you saying, Mohammed?
Oh, I was going to say, we should mention that he was also at the
STL
55-year mission in 2021.
2021, yeah.
Oh, 21. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess a better way for me to have worded this is an actor that played a beloved Star Trek
Yes.
character
Yeah.
is reprising his role on a Paramount Plus show.
Yeah.
But you know,
At that 30th anniversary Star Trek thing that was on TV that happened in LA, that was like a massive thing hosted by Ben Stiller. There was a Frasier skit that was super fun where they're all like sort of the cast of Voyager, or they're on a spaceship. And
Oh
like,
yeah, that's
it's
right.
like
That's
the
on
bridge,
YouTube.
but then the dad is in his chair. It's really good.
That's right. You can find that on YouTube. It's a great skit there. I love it.
Oh,
But it
so
actually has
good.
Kate Mulgrew
It's-
as Janeway
yeah.
in it too.
really?
Yeah,
It's really good.
it's very funny.
Wow, that's
That was an amazing
JR
like, full
Poole
2-hour
says
thing.
JR Poole says Sideshow Bob. Excellent knowledge, JR. Good
Oh
stuff.
yeah, that's
Good
right.
point.
Good stuff.
Good Simpsons.
All right. So the votes are in. Everybody, you got 5 seconds left to vote in the poll, but this thing's delayed like 15 seconds. So I guess we should do 20 seconds. Did you guys vote, Mohammed, Melissa, and Anne Marie?
I guessed. I don't know, but I
I-
guessed.
I guessed
I
news
made
radio
an-
because I don't know what that is.
Kind of educated guess. I guess the same thing because
What was that?
Frasier was a news anchor, so it would make sense that he would be on news radio, but I don't know.
I feel
Or
like
it
I
would
used to
make
be a
sense that
major
I would
Wings
put
fan. So I
that
feel
to
like I
make
would have
people
known that.
think that.
This is true. This is true. It could be an April Fool's.
I
Maybe
just
it's
put
Mad
Mad
About
About
You.
You just because I like that show. It's like that was a good show.
It had,
could
and
see
it had a
that.
similar tone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The plurality of you are correct. The answer
Ah.
is wings,
Wings.
actually.
Oh my god, I used to watch
Wings.
Wings. That show was so good
It was
back in the
good. I
day. Like when
loved
Star Trek
Wings.
wasn't on at bedtime, Wings would be on.
Yeah. Yes. I used to watch that too when I
That
was a
and Dear John.
wee one.
John, oh my God.
And I watched Empty Nest and Mad About You.
Okay, but
Yeah.
apparently
And also
he-
Moonlighting, which apparently is getting a reboot
Yeah.
announced too.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
Moonlighting has like a ton of crossover characters with like TNG. It's always coming
does
up on
Boston
Mission
Legal.
Log. So that'll be fun.
You know, I've been watching Heart to Heart.
Oh my gosh.
Hilarious.
that better be Brett the Hitman Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
And
This is
Mrs.
Mrs.
Hart.
Hart. She's
It's-
gorgeous.
Oh my god. Okay, this is quality content.
yes, and I've seen Renee Aubergenois. I've seen Andy Robinson. I've seen Ethan Phillips. I've seen Dr. Pulaski and
Wow.
and other people, and I can't remember who they are. I'm like, oh my gosh.
WTF Heart to Heart.
There you go.
Yeah.
I remember that intro sequence so well from that show. Oh my gosh.
Moida.
Yeah, but
Come
which
over here.
which Star Trek actors were in Gunsmoke?
Oh my gosh, going way back now.
Oh.
Well, it's a special, the crossover really happens with like Bonanza and TOS.
Oh.
And
They're
Boston
always
Legal.
talking about it on Enterprise Incidents. And obviously, what's it called? Like, Here's to the Bride. This one's for
Here's
the
to
Bride or
LeBron?
something about like the Here Come the Brides, which was like had
Oh.
Mark Leonard and some crossover with like early TOS. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, the other big news about Paramount Plus and CBS is that the show Ghosts premiered season 2, which is really cute, and it had like 6 million live viewers on actual like television.
Wow.
Oh, maybe
doing
another
really
watch the
well.
first one.
Wow.
It's really good.
Wow.
I
Exactly.
nominated it for October Spooky Month. It's really
Oktoberfest.
cute. Yeah,
Spooky month. I have to watch that. I keep hearing
really,
good
really
things.
cute. US and British and the British one on HBO is really cute too. But it's one of those rare occurrences where both are amazing.
Oh. Like The
Okay, so-
Office.
Donnie Pearson dropping a little knowledge. Donnie Pearson says Empty Nest was produced by what is now ABC's Signature. Mad About You was produced by TriStar Television. News Radio was produced by what is now Sony Pictures Television. Wow, it's 1 out
Wow.
of 2. And one of the stars of Empty Nest, David Leisure, voiced the bus org in Power Rangers Wild Force.
Huh.
Whoa,
Whoa.
that's some heavy knowledge there.
That was a lot of information. Yet all 3 shows aired on NBC. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Yeah. because I was going to add Golden Palace, but then I checked and Golden Palace actually aired on CBS, surprisingly, even though Golden Girls was NBC. Oh, the 90s were so weird. Anyway.
Well, not just the 90s.
Network television. It's so fascinating.
So fascinating.
And also, like, shout out to Larry Nematek's Trek Files podcast, because a lot of times they'll do memos from like actually the networks. And it's just so interesting to hear like the behind the scenes and funding and like all the suits decisions that then shaped Star Trek. So fascinating.
Whoa, J.R. Poole tells us the guy from Wings was a Bajoran.
Oh, yes.
Which guy from Wings?
The younger brother, I believe. He was part of the Circle, part of the ultra extremist faction.
I remember
group
the Circle, yeah.
who were against the Bajorans, or against aliens being part of Bajor.
So how many episodes of Wings was Kelsey Grammer in? Apparently he was actually nominated for an Emmy, so he must have done it.
Was it a guest star though?
I don't know. We are spending a lot of time on Wings, and Muhammad's
it was
getting
good.
pissed.
I didn't watch Wings regularly, but I liked it
Me
when I saw it.
neither.
I just felt so bad, like there wasn't a girl for both brothers. I didn't like they had to compete.
I know, she was my favorite.
Wait a minute. It says he also played Dr. Fraser Crane in The Magical World of Disney.
Oh.
And he also played Dr. Fraser Crane in the Earth Day special. Oh no, he only played Dr. Fraser Crane in one episode of Wings. So he's played Fraser Crane in 5 shows so far. But those were the ones he was nominated for Emmys in those 3 shows. So he's the only actor to have ever gotten nominated for an Emmy for the same character in 3 different series. This is a lot of
like
fun,
television
guys.
history podcasts, they always reference like him, but then the other person who had a character that was on TV for a massive amount of time was Michael Dorn's Worf. So super interesting.
Yeah, but so Fraser coming back will mean that he will have been the same character for like 40 years, basically.
Oh yeah, but guess what?
Yeah.
Michael Dorn's also coming back.
Yes.
Michael Dorn is coming back in a new series.
I mean, obviously he didn't start quite as
35, 36 years, but
Got
still.
that cool gray in his beard.
Mhm.
Relate.
All right.
Just kidding.
So
Well,
what's next
Cheers
on the
got
agenda,
a head
guys?
start.
Yeah, cheers.
On TNG. So
Mhm. And they have the better craft service table. That's why like Denise Crosby always said they went over to the Cheers set.
Really?
Yeah.
Kind of like Aaron and Sirach to the Voyager set.
It's funny. You want to do the good place next? You're just asking what to do next.
Okay, yeah, let's do the good place. The Good Place
I
is a
randomly
big
got
deal.
like, since I retweeted it, the chain, like all the replies go to me also. So I'm getting like massive amounts of Star Trek Good Place Twitter alerts.
Really?
Yeah.
And I
Pretty
read that
exciting.
you started Doctor Who, Anne-Marie.
Oh my gosh. I used my first Doctor Who gift today.
Where did you
It's been a
start?
great day. I started with like 2000 whatever 3 or 4.
Oh, the
I mean, I've seen the watch
ninth
the
Doctor.
first episode,
Mhm.
but yeah, I started there. I'm super
The
into
modern
it
iteration,
there.
not the classic iteration.
Yeah, and I fell in love with it by like episode 3.
It's
So I have a lot of work to do.
Just wait till you get to Tennant. Woo.
I know.
So good.
Great. He's great.
And my
The Sci-Fi
favorite, so the
Sisters.
gift I'm using everywhere since like I'm fasting is I want where Billy Piper says as a rose says I want chips.
Our friends, the Sci-Fi Sisters, their podcast that just released
Yes.
recently was an introduction to Doctor Who, and they had special guest Jamal Taylor.
Jamal
who's-
Taylor!
Yeah,
Wow!
who's sometimes here in our chat pack. So it was a really good review of basically like how to
Wow.
get into it. What are some perspectives on the show? So as usual, great discussion, great commentary, and lots of fun.
Yeah.
So check that
It
out.
is a really fun show, especially the reboot of it. For
Agreed.
me, I've liked all of the doctors. I have not been disappointed in who
Same.
they've been put into that
Well,
role
I
yet.
also
Have you
am like
seen all the
reading all the
doctors?
trivia in every
modern
episode,
ones.
and I'm like
The
super
modern
into
ones.
The fact that like
Hmm.
David Tennant married one of the previous doctor's daughters, and I'm like,
What?
oh my god, I'm super into this fandom. Like, I love good shipping and in real life shipping. So yeah, that kind of sealed the deal. I'm really into it.
You have to tell me your thoughts on River Song because she's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, there's lots of spoilers there.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Okay, sorry,
Spoilers.
Ryan.
Okay, back to
Hey,
Trek.
you ain't got to apologize. I just got nothing to add when it comes to Doctor Whom.
It's so stylish. It's the
I've
only
only
First
thing.
seen
episode with
one
River Song
episode.
is I think the first episode with River Song is with Tennant, I think.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Tenant, anyone? Yeah.
was my
Anyway,
tennis
everybody in
swing.
the live chat, put in it on a scale of 1 to 10 how much of a Doctor Whom fan you are. Like if you love it to death, like these guys apparently, give it a 10. If you've never seen it, don't care for it, give it a 1, like myself. If you're a casual fan, you like it, whatever, give 5, 6, 7, whatever. You do your thing. Let us know. I want to know how important Doctor Whom is to this group, because if it's important, then we got to start talking about it more. I think you guys are winning.
Well,
Okay.
The only thing I will add to it about it is that it's got some really wonderful stories, and they have a very unique way of telling those stories. And yeah, it's very good. And I can't wait till you see the Weeping Angels too.
So I was literally just about to
Absolutely.
type in there, start with the episode, don't blink. So I was
Yeah, I
literally just
know.
typing in the
It's
chat.
There's
now.
such good like references to like, it's kind of like Star Trek in the references to like history and literature.
Mhm.
And yeah, so like I had to buy one of my friend's books like that he had put out to be supportive about like the villains of Doctor Who. And so I started just like rifling through it to be supportive. And it's like the villains and essays, an essay about each villain by like different fans by Etville Mafia Press. And I was just like, whoa, these people are so fervent in their love of Doctor Who, just like Star Trek. I'm going to give it another shot. And yeah, took like a couple hours. Now I'm super into it.
Faith Howell is changing the subject. She says, I love DW 3000. DW is an excellent drum brand. You can get some good double bass pedals, DW. Great stuff. Highly recommended. I agree with you, Faith Howell.
Talking
DW, good
guitarist,
stuff.
Fender Stratocaster.
So how proficient on the drums are you? I know you're pretty good at the
less now
guitar.
since I've sold my drum set. I don't get to play anymore. But drums are cool because you can kind of practice the drums without having a drum set. You can just kind of like hit stuff, and it's just hitting stuff, and you can do the double bass with your feet and whatever. You can't really play air guitar with a guitar and consider it doing anything, But drums, you can just kind of like, do your thing. Do your thing.
Okay, so I'm gonna have
My
to say,
Life from
we need to
Tokyo,
move
Just
on.
Rosie 5, and Wayner are my people here with their
We have a
numbers.
lot of other stuff to discuss.
Good call.
Oh,
Good call.
I'm so sorry for bringing up Doctor Who,
No,
Anne
it's
Marie,
my
and talking
fault.
about
That's
it for
it's
15
my
minutes.
fault.
No,
That's
that
why
was
I
it was my fault because I asked you about it.
We're gonna start a Doctor Who main viewer, whatever they call it.
Yes.
Oh, man.
main Whovier, the main.
I don't know what they're called.
Ooh,
Or the police box.
Okay, so here is a bit of news from The Good Place. Everybody knows and loves The Good Place,
great
with
show.
that lady who likes the sloths, and there was a
Ted
couple
Danson
other
from
dudes.
Cheers. Who knows?
Ted
Kelsey Grammer.
Danson. Yes.
Oh, and Ted Danson.
That's why I watch
Yeah.
it.
And then some other guy, and then other people. But
Jamila Jamil.
also, oh, really? Is Jamila Jamil
Oh, you mean from
in
Star Trek?
The Good Place? You mean Jamila Jamil from Star Trek Prodigy?
That's right.
There she is right
Let me
here.
just say,
That's
the
awesome.
tweet
I love that
started this off was that she's so excited to be at New York Comic Con talking about Prodigy for the first time ever because she's been a TNG fan since she was 8.
I love
always
So-
very
look at
fun to
this
hear.
If
character.
anybody wonders why her handle is Titania, that's the character she's playing right now in She-Hulk. So that's why her
Oh, that's
Twitter
so
handle,
cool.
or that's why her Twitter name is that right now.
Interesting.
WTF?
So everybody,
She-Hulk.
yep, everybody listening in only, she tweeted a picture of herself as her Prodigy character, and it looks like she is an Ensign Trill.
That's so
She got
awesome.
brown hair pulled back and trill spots. I mean, they're
And
called
is
spots,
that
but they look more like
purple?
crescents.
Like,
And
What does
she
that
has
mean?
one pip, so she's an ensign. What's what purple? What?
the purple color.
On the
Or can we just
Color?
not see the color, the main color, and it's just like the purple from Deep Space Nine?
Are you talking
I
about
just
on
wanna
her
know.
collar?
Yeah, like what's her field?
I don't know.
color?
It's probably just
Oh,
it's probably just a light reflection because
I
these
was
guys are
just
great
thinking that
artists. Because if
too.
you look, there's a little bit on her chin too, so it looks like maybe
Right.
there's some kind of
Mm.
they're just
and
attention to
she's
detail a little
got,
bit. Here.
yeah, little purple.
They're just amazing at what they do. So they add these lights on, reflecting off people's faces. Look at the
It's so
life in those
beautiful.
eyes.
Yeah.
So
The
Amazing.
detail is
gorgeous.
amazing.
I love it. Ah,
Brilliant.
can't wait
And
to
you can
watch.
even see, what are those things called, Muhammad? These like lines that are
Oh,
in
she asked the MD.
the
I
irises.
actually don't know what you call what. I don't know if
But
there's a
those are
name for that. I mean,
Great
I guess there
detail.
is. but-
She's beautiful.
Mhm.
Very well done.
But you guys, what the heck? She has 1 million
know.
followers. How is this possible?
It's amazing.
She has 1 million followers. She must have
believe
done
it.
stuff from before The
Wow.
Good Place, because I can't imagine the other people in The
Well,
Good Place have
she
1 million
was-
followers.
Yeah, I bet they do.
Ted
actually.
Danson, probably.
No
also-
chance Ted Danson
Also
has, even though I love the
Veronica-
guy,
He's
Veronica
a
Mars.
legend.
even though he's Mr. Mayor.
Yeah. And now I just forgot her name.
Veronica
Kirstie Alley.
Mars. What's her name again?
Look at Ted Danson, 174,000 followers.
Really?
I bet he
Poor
tweets
guy.
a lot less
That's
frequently, though. She's
crazy.
probably a better
Yeah.
follow.
And he
But
just joined
he's
in
A
2016.
legend.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
July 6th.
Mr. Mayor.
I need to follow him.
I know.
You're following right now.
Get,
I
get
like
those
don't get
numbers
more
up.
follows until I get more followers.
Ted Danson.
I'm excited. I think she's going to be a great addition to the show. She's a very, very good performer in everything I've seen in Good Place.
Yes.
She-Hulk. She's very compelling. She's very good. Yeah, I'm very
Yeah.
excited to see her coming into Prodigy.
Yeah, agreed. I loved her in The Good Place.
Yeah. Even though she was kind of a horrid character, she was still well played.
But she did it so well. And then there was something very endearing about her too.
Yeah.
Um,
A good redemption arc, kind of over the
Mhm.
course of the series too.
yeah.
So.
Wait, how did you spell her name?
Jamila Jamil,
Yeah.
Jameela, I think.
Oh,
think
but
that's-
that's her Twitter handle?
Oh, yeah, so her, I don't remember what her handle is.
Titania
The
or
name
something
she's
like
using right now is Titania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've put in a new poll, everybody, so that you're not just watching us look on Twitter.
We're done talking about
should
Doctor
we-
Who right now.
Sorry.
Should
sorry,
we
sorry.
talk about Doctor Who more or less? The possible choices are a little more, or way more, or about the same, hardly at all, or even less than this one time.
Oh, that's your answer.
No, I'll talk about as much as people want to talk about it. I just won't have much to say. I just have my one Doctor Whom joke, and after that, I'm tapped out. That's all I got.
We can help you.
And people vote
Yeah,
on
you
who
guys
their
got it.
favorite doctor is. That's a common thing to do.
Yeah. How many? There've been like a dozen or 14 doctors or something
Like that,
wild
yeah.
like that.
But
Yeah.
there's a few weird,
I
unsure to count
know.
ones. So,
Oh, this is an extensive fandom. There's
yeah.
a lot
That's
of-
so
I have
many
my work cut
doctors.
out for me.
So many doctors. It sounds like our list of associate producers on the
Well, it's
seventh
also
rule.
kind of like
Hey.
it's
So
kind of like
wonderful.
Jadzia's host, like the Dax host. Like
Oh,
there are
yeah.
a couple that were like Varad, who was just a host for like a few hours. If you count him, like Yeah.
You can do an Arukin
Every
thing
episode I
for
read
them.
all the trivia and I'm
David
like, oh man. Okay. What's next?
Okay. what's
Okay.
next?
So we'll also, just to go over Prodigy a little bit more, we know that is beginning on October 27th. So we're just a little bit more than 3 weeks away. That's going to be super exciting. Mohammed, you seem to be the most excited out of all of us. Why is that? And by the way, actually, Mohammed, tell us how excited you are. And so let me see if I can pull something up.
No, I'll say more than that.
Okay, but what's the topic? Because I was responding to Facebook.
That's okay. I'll say that too. So the question is, why am I so excited about Star Trek Prodigy coming back? I mean, we're halfway through the first season. It's. I mean, I've been just waiting, just dying to see where we're going to go with this, because I really, really love the first half of the season. But there's also this epic cliffhanger at the end of what we've seen so far. So just to remind folks what happened there. Something has been downloaded into the Prodigy, like some sort of computer virus that's going to essentially destroy the Federation if it gets downloaded. And this is something we've seen in the previews, that they're going to be trying to avoid contact with whatever the ship is that Janeway's actually on. I can't remember the name of
Dauntless?
it. The Dauntless. That's right. So they're going to be trying to avoid that. And this is also where we see our old friend Okona coming back too. So there's a lot that's been built up there. Plus the character development so far has been amazing. You know, seeing what's happened there with Rock Talk, you know, having basically been on her own, but then studying all these different things and now being like this super scientist. So it'd be great to see like how they continue to develop all these characters throughout. And Dahl, coming more into his own, Gwen getting to be a lot stronger and more independent. Yeah, it's just great all around.
There was a really cute interview I read with Billy Campbell, and he was saying like how they designed his cartoon look, and they agreed that he should have like a little bit of a gut, because it's like years later since we saw him, and that would be like the natural progression of his lifestyle. I just thought was adorable.
A la Thor.
Yeah, Thor Heyerdahl, everybody knows, author of Kon-Tiki.
But like some really cool things that were in the news today is that there had been talk about two new novels for like young adults, and those more information has been released, and the release date has been set as January. And I think one of them is based or like a continuation of the video game that's out. But then somebody tweeted like, well, how come they aren't out in time for Christmas? And then Aaron Wilkie responded, stay tuned. So, I mean, I like to think that means stay tuned because we'll have plushies in time for Christmas, but like, we'll see. Or the holiday season.
Awesome.
Yeah.
At
Great
least
knowledge,
Murph. At least Murph.
Exactly. It literally could be like a beanbag.
Exactly.
Blue and
Put
purple
some eyeballs on it.
or some gack.
Or both.
Yeah.
So also wanted to point out very quickly how much love Jamila Jamil is getting from the Star Trek community. Check this out on Star Trek Twitter. This is Star Trek on Paramount Plus, of course, at Star Trek on P+. And right here, they retweet. She tweets out, my 8-year-old self who loved Star Trek Next Generation is finally going to Comic-Con New York City this weekend to promote that I'm in Star Trek. And then she does an emoji that looks surprisingly like me, actually. And then Paramount Plus retweets it, or quote tweets it, and says, we have Jamila Jamil and Star Trek on Paramount Plus with us at New York City Comic-Con this weekend. Faints. That's Paramount Plus, and Star Trek Paramount Plus retweets it. They also talk about Lower Decks, of course, because there's so much good stuff there. But check this out. The Star Trek Prodigy Writers Room also retweets her, saying, welcome aboard. We can't wait for everyone to meet Ensign Asencia of the USS Dauntless. See you all this Saturday at New York Comic-Con.
Was Asencia the name of the Trill symbiote?
Don't forget to set an intention set an intention when you light your candle, obvi. Kate Mulgrew also says, looking forward to it, Jamila.
And right next to it, it says Dalek is trending.
All right, that's trying to sneak in Doctor Whom.
Paul did ask for more.
Did it? Let's check this thing. All right. So the end of the Doctor Whom poll reveals that, let's see, 16% of you would like it to be spoken of about the same, hardly at all. 20% of you would like it to be spoken about even less than this one time.
Sorry, guys.
25% of you said way more, and 37% of you are reasonable, saying a little more. You guys are like, hey, I like it, but that's not why I turn on the show. Sprinkle it in, pepper it in. Don't make the pepper stronger than the mashed potatoes. Just add a little bit.
Well, and Faith House said it very wisely to have it spoken of in natural conversations like you guys are doing now. So, yeah.
Well said. Well said.
Paraphrasing her wisdom.
Mhm. Okay. Also, another fun little thing, since we're on Twitter, real quick, this was something that Anne-Marie sent in just recently. Anne-Marie Siegel.
Twitter's been so fun this week, like so positive, and
It's
everybody's
funny 'cause I
just
sent you a Twitter
excited.
too.
This one's
Marie,
great.
how do we pronounce this name, please?
Oh yeah.
I was hoping Muhammad would know.
I don't know.
Cello?
Cello
That's how
Horsdal,
old
I
people
guess.
say cello. They go,
Yeah.
he likes to play the cello. Yeah.
Oh
I got some violins over there. This guy plays the cello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that what they say? No, her name's like Chella or Chela. I don't know, depending on what
Chella?
it's from.
I was wondering.
Horsdal.
I was
This is a
thinking
great tweet.
Hala, because
Oh,
Yeah,
maybe.
that's what I was thinking. So that's why it might be Chela. You know. Today I encountered a guy who was talking about attending Star Trek conventions, and I whispered, I'll tell you a secret. I'm the Federation president. And I'm 97% certain he thought I was just some delusional lunatic. So anyway, this is why I don't talk about work in real life. Very funny. Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
There
you
we
need to
are.
like that. I
There you
thought that was hilarious.
There we are.
That's
You
awesome.
gotta like live.
It took me
What a
like a
great
second
tweet.
to get it. So funny.
She's an actress.
She has a really great sense of humor.
Okay. That's some good Discovery talk, by the way, everybody at home.
Good job finding that. Anne-Marie.
And there's a Discovery. I didn't realize Discovery is going to be part of the panel on Saturday of the Star Trek
Ooh.
Universe panel. So
Mhm.
hopefully we get
Review?
like a season like premiere
Teaser?
date.
No,
Well,
that's right.
or a teaser, either one.
oh yeah,
Oh, you guys, should we
beyond the awesome photo op that we got.
just
from
get to the
Burnham.
apology?
Oh, yes, yes.
sure.
This has to do with
Everybody-
John Orchiola, who's in the live.
No,
chat.
no spoilers, Anne-Marie.
Okay.
This is serious and important. So everybody at home in the live chat right now, if you'd like us to issue the apology to countries in the live chat right now, just demand apologize.
Depends on the country. Like if you're gonna say North Korea, they're gonna be like, no.
Finger
Well,
in
maybe
it.
we don't want to piss them off because they're scary. They're shooting
Maybe.
stuff over
Some
Japan.
of them were a little
They're
scary.
weird. Just kidding, North Korea. We're not, so you just
Now we have to apologize.
add them to the list.
Oh wait.
So
back of the head, John Orchiola says Chayla. I guess.
There we go.
Shayla.
Chayla.
Chayla.
Horsdal.
Back of the head is our good buddy John Orchiola from Screen Rant. He covers Star Trek and a bunch of other cool things
Including
on
wrestling.
screenrant.com. Yeah, wrestling. He says it's pronounced Chayla Horsdal. Okay. Or Horsdal. Okay. Ooh. Linda Anderegg says apologize now. Just Rosie says apologize. Jim Westbrook says no apology.
BL says it's way too late for her to apologize.
Yeah, that's a song. It's too late to apologize.
I love
It's
that
too
song.
Glenn
Also,
Iverson
just it's
says
too late, baby. No, it's too late.
It's too
Oh, I like
late.
that song.
"Do we really? Who is that?
Try to make
Yeah.
Carol King.
That's who
Ugh.
it is. Something
Oh.
inside has died.
Oh my gosh, her
Love
tweets
her.
today about
Love
Loretta
her.
Young were amazing.
Aw.
Okay.
Or were the-
Aw.
So we're going to make it a
R.I.P.
half
Loretta.
apology. Okay, we're going to make it a half apology.
Just an
This
ology.
comes from our good friends at youtube.com in the form of an
Our
email.
good friend.
It says, "Hi, Virtual TrekCon. A copyright owner using Content ID has claimed some material in your video. As a result, your video has been blocked in some countries. This means that your video is still up on YouTube, but people in some countries may not be able to watch it. This is not a copyright strike. This claim does not affect your account status."
You.
video title-
Imagine if it had.
Star Trek and chill. John Orchiola, you are as guilty as we are in this.
Yeah.
This was last Friday, and the copyrighted content is 24 people's elbows that electrified the masses. WWE Fury, November 13th.
Oh my
Well, we knew this
god.
was going to happen, you know. Now, so we have to issue an apology, everybody, to the following countries, because we are very highly viewed in these countries, and they, in alphabetical order, they are Afghanistan, we're sorry. Bangladesh, our apologies. Bhutan, sorry about that. India, whoops. Maldives, lo siento. Nepal, pardon. Pakistan, whatever, sorry, I guess. Russia, you know what you did, but we're still sorry. And Sri Lanka, great tea, by the way, Sri Lanka, formerly known as Ceylon. We are sorry for that. You can no longer watch our video on YouTube in those locations. Sorry about that,
Ooh.
you 9 countries.
Thank goodness that didn't actually hurt our account status. Imagine.
We would have just taken that video down. It's not worth it. Not
It gave
worth
us a
it
strike.
at all. We can still go back and kind of edit out that live thing if we want. But anyway,
That was quality,
that's a
though.
little inside scoop. That's a little how the pork is made, how the sausage is made with YouTube. If you show another video or you do anything, then they get they go like, you did this, and then they go, this is not a strike. They're like, we're not mad, we're just disappointed, is what they do.
This is a warning.
Oh my God.
Scary
Okay.
though. Yes, Anne Marie, go ahead.
Next.
That's it. I thought you had
Everybody's done
something.
with this one.
No.
That's fair.
Which of those countries is your favorite, Anne Marie?
I don't know.
What about you, Mohammed?
I can't pick. I mean, they're all great.
Yeah,
They're all
maybe
great.
except for one of them.
Well, except there was one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's fair.
What about you, Melissa? Do you have a favorite out of Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan, Russia, and Sri Lanka?
Well, since I've never visited any of those countries, I don't
Oh, yeah,
think
me
it's
neither.
fair to say I have a favorite.
I guess I've just been to
Okay.
India for that list. But that's it.
Although I would like to go
Oh.
to India because my grandfather was from India.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah,
Nice.
in the
Beautiful place.
Pakistani
Mhm.
area. Right.
One of my best friends in the whole wide world lived in Sri Lanka for quite some time, but he and his family have recently moved back out of Sri Lanka because it got a little messy there recently. I don't know if you heard. And he moved to the Philly area, Philadelphia. So he's back in the
Philly.
States. Welcome back, Glenn. Welcome back.
Okay.
Anyway, Anne Marie is just
I feel like we have a lot to discuss.
do
so,
we?
A lot
I
to
don't know.
say.
All right.
There's one tweet I
yes.
sent you too. If you want to use that, I don't know if you want to wait for that one.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That was, I meant to mention that when we were talking about cause and effect and lower decks grounded, right? Let's pull that up.
Yeah, this one's fun. So this was a poll on Paramount Plus. I'll get people about.
Oh.
Yeah, it was basically like essentially what TV show are you most excited to rewatch from among their offerings? Since the
Mhm.
choices included things like Cheers and I Love Lucy,
The
Oh, yeah.
Twilight
Disney.
Zone.
The Twilight Zone and Star Trek: The Next Generation. So go ahead and vote, and we'll see which one comes up as the most highly voted.
There's a
Oh,
very fun
let's
part
vote
where
live, you guys. Here it
Okay.
is. Should I vote for I Love Lucy, The Twilight Zone, Star Trek TNG, or Cheers? We're going to put a poll in
Vote
the
for how to
live
vote.
chat, and you guys vote for the one vote. No, we're just going to go
Okay,
ahead and vote.
so there was a really cute follow-up to like some of the responses. One was from Star Trek at Paramount Plus that was like Star Trek TNG, but respect like a soft spot for I Love Lucy.
Yeah,
But
that's
then-
a perfect
But then
response.
Paramount Plus didn't really understand what they're saying, so they just said like we love Lucy too or something. They didn't
Look
get
at this
why they
guy's
were saying
name.
it.
Starfleet Boy is landing.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, just throw out
I'm
a
gonna
random
switch mine.
one.
Got random.
Handle to Anne Maria's Landing.
The question is, if you could stream one of these Paramount Plus classics forever, which would it be? Oh, that's really cool. Check it out. Paramount Plus. If you type in hashtag Paramount Plus, they have the really cool Paramount logo.
That's cool.
Okay. Which would it be? The answer, of course, for me is Star Trek TNG. And most people
60%.
agreed.
Because we're all such nuts on
60.1%
Twitter.
selected Star Trek The Next Generation. Second place, I Love Lucy, 14.7%. Third was The Twilight Zone at 14%. Sirach Lofton must have voted for that one. He's a huge Twilight Zone fan.
Yeah, he is.
And lastly, Cheers at 11.1%.
There we go. You see which one is the superior show.
Well, or the crazier fan base who hangs out on Twitter all day.
That's definitely
One of those two
us.
things. We'll say it's the superior
Like,
choice.
yeah. Oh my god. I want to
What's your
change my
second
handle to
favorite
Anne
show,
Maria's
though?
Landing.
After Star Trek The Next Generation, do you like Cheers, Twilight Zone, or I Love Lucy?
I would just rewatch eternally the episode where Lucy tells Ricky she's having a baby. I watched that episode so many times. It's so cute.
What about you, Mohammed?
Yours is good.
I like all of those shows. I'd probably, if I had to pick one though, but after TNG, I'd probably pick Twilight Zone, just because it's so much variety there. It would be hard to get old.
Interesting. Melissa?
I don't know. It's a tie between Cheers and I Love Lucy because I like both of those shows very much for different reasons. But
Coincidentally, Falling Towers Watch the First podcast reviewed Cheers recently. That came out this summer.
That was one of your best ones ever, actually.
WTF number 119 with our friend actress Lila Shacker. We did Cheers. It's available on Hulu. If you want to know how well it did, check it out on Falling Tower's YouTube channel. Falling Tower, episode 119. Yeah, I would pick Cheers.
Cheers was in there too, but it was earlier. You did
Hmm?
review it for Watch the First. You reviewed Twilight Zone, Watch the First.
With
Yeah.
you,
That's true.
with Mohammed Noor, which was really. I watched WTF a lot
That's
to go to
how I-
bed.
was it the
There it is.
newer
It's a really good
Twilight
one.
Zone?
No,
Oh,
no,
for the
No.
old one.
1959.
Oh,
It was the
right.
first of the first, and we had our friend Neil Patrick Stevens
I watched that
joining
one.
us. That is episode number 92 on Falling Tower. That's WTF number 92. Check that out for the 1959 very first episode of the Twilight Zone. Do you think I liked it? Muhammad liked it.
Oh, I
Neil
was gonna give
Patrick Stevens.
spoilers. Oops.
What a guess.
I didn't though.
Everybody guess.
I gave a little spoiler by virtue of the fact that I just said I would keep watching it.
Oh, that was
Oh,
just a minor spoil.
Minor spoiler, yeah.
Forget. I
Right.
forgot. Okay. So, well, let's see. I mean, we've done so much. We've apologized to those. I feel a lot better after that apology.
Bhutan.
I really need to get that off my chest. Yeah, but they just keep making lighters. Thank you, Muhammad. The scientist got the joke. Melissa and Anne-Marie are like, please move on. We have no idea what you're talking about.
I thought it was Bhutan. Maybe not.
Huh?
Maybe
That
it
is
is.
Bhutan.
Maybe it is. I'm
You-
not sure how to pronounce it.
I always thought it was
I thought. One of my
Bhutan, but
friends
I don't
did
know. I've
tourism
never.
for the Prince of
Never been
Bhutan.
there, I
I'd
don't
like
know.
to see. Apparently,
just
they
know
need
that
more
it's-
tourism ads.
I just know it's like near Tibet and Nepal. It's in that.
It's a
area
matriarchal
mountains.
society, except for their royalty. Interesting, like Angel One,
That's your analogy.
apparently.
Tell us
Or they
more. I want
dress
to learn
better.
about it.
That's all I know. And they don't accept, and they have like stringent copyright rules about wrestling.
Okay. The way to pronounce it, according to Google, is Bhutan.
You're right, Anne-Marie. Good job.
Yep, nailed it.
Knowledge.
Bhutan. Okay. See, we learned something today. All right. So, oh, you guys,
Mm.
whoa, we've got something big to talk about too. I mean, that apology was pretty big, but you guys,
The reason for the thumbnail?
yes, you are so right. Okay. So this comes from our good friends over at trekmovie.com, written by trekmovie.com staff.
Yes.
Love
Oh my
that
gosh.
person.
It's commenting on, I guess, a Hollywood Reporter or Insider. I can't, one of those two, did like an in-depth interview with Mike McMahon, but I shared this I sent you this coverage because it was like a very long interview meant for people who don't necessarily watch Star Trek. So there's a ton of filler about like what Lower Decks is. So, okay, yeah, continue. So this is about that interview.
So it's called Mike McMahon trying to figure out how to do Star Trek Enterprise cameos on Lower Decks.
And I don't think it would be that hard.
Not at all.
I don't think it would be that hard because Enterprise dealt so much with time travel and
Yep.
Totally.
it would totally work with Lower Decks.
Also, holodecks. I mean, that opens up
that
everything.
too. That
It's
too.
easy.
Well, there's a lot of response on the internet, like it better not be in holodeck form.
Really?
Yeah. People were snapping about that. Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh.
I mean, it could
Yeah.
even be just like, look, they went to, what was it, Bozeman, Montana, and they saw all these things. It could just be like, they're visiting an
a
artifact
museum
enterprise, and then Trip is talking like, well, this is the engine room, everybody, have a cheeseburger or whatever.
Where's
That's
my
what they can-
crawfish?
You know what they should do is make
Actually.
the last episode of Lower Decks be an enterprise, like somebody's
that's
writing a
funny.
story.
That's hilarious.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's how to do it.
It's a cartoon that was all made by Malcolm in his free time.
So Back of the Head says they can do anything in animation, and that's exactly it. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you can have any actor playing almost any age. It doesn't matter if the actor is aging or changing or, not even in the same country. If, you can do pretty much whatever you want. So that's true. And that's what opens the door to where if it's live action, we know it's going to have to take place in the future because they've gotten older, whatever. But with animation, go hog wild.
We're younger,
They
whatever
could
want.
discover a new holodeck program that shows that Riker's holodeck program was wrong.
That's hilarious. I love that.
Which
They could retcon
Maybe
it. They could
they
just
made,
go
like,
back in time
um,
and stop that holodeck program from happening and save Trip. Or
Yeah.
you could keep the hologram, but
maybe they had an
save
inner
Trip.
light capsule that they just sent out.
Yeah. Or maybe he was on such a top secret mission, the most top secret of missions ever, and they had to fake his death, and so this is
Exactly.
the official what happened to Trip Tucker. But then when there's no need to keep it secret anymore, then they can release the real story.
Exactly.
What the 80s. I can't remember which one, whether it was the reboot of the Twilight Zone from the 80s or if it was the other show, Amazing Stories, which was similar. It had a thing where somebody had gone back in time and like rescued JFK, but then replaced themselves with JFK. So that was the person who actually got killed rather than JFK. But they could do something like that with Trip Tucker, where basically there's a replacement.
Oh, wasn't it funny on Lower Decks when they referenced that? Because that had been like a proposal for a TNG or a TOS Star Trek movie.
Oh,
Like, yeah, that got shot down.
I'm gonna say to Paul.
I would actually
so we've
really
got
love, how old do Denobulans live to be?
like
Oh,
250 or 300 years or
yeah.
something. They live really
I was hoping
long.
even
that was something
longer.
long. Yeah.
But they
Yeah.
could be in
Love
Picard. They you know, they don't even have to be Phlox, T'Pol,
I mean, I don't know if they could
Soval.
be if T'Pol. I don't know if they'd be alive for 24th century. I could certainly see them being alive in Strange New Worlds era. But
Depending on
sure.
how
They're
long
pretty
they
old.
live.
You're right. Yeah.
Huh.
We've got a poll in the live chat, which is which Enterprise character would you most want to see in Lower Decks out of Archer, Trip, Hoshi, and Reed?
Porthos.
You know, I thought about putting that in, but I'm like, people are just gonna pick Porthos just to pick them, just because that's the funny
So cute.
joke.
No, but he's so cute. His ears.
Would
are
you
amazing.
really
Porthos would be the
rather
And they have
Easiest one.
cheese. They have so much cheese on the Cerritos. They have that like cheese board.
Would you really rather see a dog that didn't play Porthos because he's got to be probably on the Rainbow Bridge or crossing that thing? Would you rather see that, or would you actually rather see Scott Bakula playing
Dog that didn't
Archer?
No.
play
Or
Porthos.
Of course, no, I'd want the actors to work again. But I was just thinking in the same vein as Morn at the bar.
oh, that would be so
Just-
cute. Yeah,
You know?
in Lower Decks. Yeah.
Porthos might be achievable based on what happened in the 2009 movie. Maybe that transporter thing
Yep.
actually, instead
Yes.
of going to a different place, went through time. So young
Ooh.
Porthos
I mean,
just
like-
goes to the future.
Also, like Barbara Streisand clones her dogs.
Yeah,
So,
this is true.
Oh.
I've learned this and I was like,
Yes.
really? Really?
in China.
Yeah, she does. It kind of creeps me out, but
Yes.
and I
You
love
must-
Barbara, but that creeps me out.
Jim Westbrook says, I vote for Phlox's Blue Spider.
Or that, what's that silkworm's name or whatever from like episode 2?
Which name?
That like Hoshi's like silkworm pet or something, or slug from
Oh,
like
right.
episode 2.
Oh, that's right. The one they picked up. Yeah. I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh. What about
But I do love the idea of like a Daniels finally like tell us what the heck was up with the temporal
Oh,
Cold
Tempura?
War. And then
Yeah.
also like, what do they call the guy from that? Like, remember like the guy,
time. I forget what it's called.
the something guy that we never even know what that is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The shadow, not shadow ghost. I forget what his name is.
Mm.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The one who everybody speculates is actually Archer in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah, I forget.
Wow, I haven't watched Enterprise or talked about Enterprise in a while. What is I gonna say?
No, I think it's time for a rewatch. 'cause-
Future guy.
Future guy. That's
Yeah.
the one. That's the
Yeah.
one.
Or
Nope, we
future
lose him.
guy as Rutherford.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Or
Mhm.
future guy is the guy in the shadows in the Rutherford flashbacks.
So to say future guy is Wesley Crusher, but I guess he'd just show up. He wouldn't have to be a future guy. He'd
True.
just come.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. So hang on, I'm gonna add
Oh yeah, I actually
oh,
meant to
damn.
vote Trip because I forgot that would mean like hopefully Trip didn't die. I needed
Why I
wish I
voted
could
him.
change my vote.
Exactly that reason. It's okay. He's in the lead anyway.
I know. I wish I could change my votes too,
I
but
gave it
no,
more
I
thought.
voted for Trip as well.
Trip's Holiday in the lead. It's fine. Just nobody's voted for poor Reed.
We've had enough of him.
Why not?
Aw.
you guys are mad at him.
Oh God.
You were just more excited about the rest as
He
opposed
likes
to
pineapple.
He's so boring.
good memory.
Well, I like pineapple too.
That's the coolest
It
thing
is
about
good.
him.
It's delicious. What'd you say, Marie?
I said that's the coolest thing about him.
Oh man. He's got that naval history in his lineage.
Yeah. I just like, what is going on with Ryan? I'm seeing pole face, but there's
Yeah,
already a
pole
pole
face.
out.
Yeah, no, he's doing
Well,
another poll. But
Yeah, well, I mean, look, we only put 4 characters out,
I
so
know.
so we need another
obviously-
I mean,
poll.
my answer is always Fox for everything because I'm so obsessed with him.
He's so good.
So much
Okay.
fun.
So the
Especially
winner
his
of this
private
first
life.
poll, of this first round, which enterprise character do you most want to see in Lower Decks? Trip gets 51% of the votes, Archer 29%, Hoshi 18, and Reed 0. You guys are rude.
Rude.
I think other people just wanted. I think people wanted the others more. It wasn't that they disliked Reed.
No,
good.
it was that I just like Reed.
Dare you.
Besides Emery.
Uh,
I don't think anybody would cry about Reed showing up. Like, oh man, I wouldn't say that.
yeah, I mean,
No,
that's,
not at all.
that's
I'd
a
be
fun
down with it.
novelty, I guess.
Oh,
So
sorry.
we're putting up the
I
second
just-
poll right now. The question is the same. Which enterprise character would you like to see? And the next 4 items up for bid are Daniels, Shran, Travis
Ah.
Mayweather, or Silic.
We're definitely
I'm
going
not
to the
doing
B
a
team.
Dorian.
Silic Putty.
Mm.
Melissa picked Shran. She got
Did
Shran
I?
face. Yeah.
Did I?
That's my guess. That's my guess.
I didn't.
I'm saying Shran because I love that means more Jeffrey Combs.
I didn't. I said Travis
oh, interesting.
'cause-
Actually,
because he needs more love.
Yes,
more
character
story
development.
love.
That
Yes.
character, Travis and Hoshi got robbed.
Yeah. I mean, what a fun character to explore. Somebody who is born off of Earth on the moon, was it? Or where was he
wasn't
born?
he just born on his ship?
Oh, maybe that was it.
think-
Maybe.
But still,
Sure.
yeah, what an interesting story to explore. Somebody who is
Yeah.
born off world, a human born off world. So more love for Travis. And
Could be like that discussion, that Lower Decks episode where everybody was lying about where they were born and saying they were from Hawaii when they weren't.
Oh yeah, that was great.
and
Was
Anthony
good.
Love that.
Montgomery is awesome. What an amazing dude he is.
Oh yeah, he's cool.
Mhm.
Poor Silic's not getting any votes, but on the other hand, Silic died in the past, so it's a little
I
bit
think
like
he's-
it's a little
But
funny.
that's okay. So did Trip.
Yeah, but that was in a
so did
holodeck
Admiral
program.
Forrest.
That never happened.
Hint, hint for the
But-
next one.
Yeah, so that's pretty interesting. But like the one I really actually, if I only voted for Sharon because of Jeffrey Holmes, but like I think Daniels would be fascinating because that's just
That's what I said. I
we
put
needed to
Daniels
know
in.
more about that.
Yeah.
Plus, then he could also cook us breakfast.
See, mine knows what I'm talking about. The actor is off the freaking hook cool.
I thought that was Dustin
Oh.
Hoffman.
Back of the head wants to know why T'Pol hasn't been in any of these.
I think that's
something
coming.
against her.
We're waiting on Peter and Mary.
We've heard this joke how many times?
There
But
is.
it's still
Not
funny.
enough.
It's
All
still
right.
funny.
So in the poll, we had the winner by far, which we had a feeling. Shran with 60%, Travis Mayweather with 25, Daniels with 14, and Silic Putty with 0. The final one of this first round of 7 is which enterprise character would you most want to see in Lower Decks? And your options are, of course, Phlox, T'Pol,
Oh,
Admiral Forrest, and Soval, or Saval, I
how
should
am I
say.
not voting this one? It's too hard
It is really hard.
to vote for.
I want to see T'Pol plus T'Lyn.
Yeah.
Ooh. Everybody gets so quiet. You guys
Yeah, I
totally
know.
concentrate on this.
I was
love
thinking
it.
hard there, like, oh my gosh,
You can always
T'Pol
tell
versus Phlox.
when people are really into a poll because they just get everybody just gets quiet. It's kind of like when you were in school way back in the day, and everybody's kind of tired. There's this, and then the teacher hands out the test, and they go, "Okay, begin," and everybody just gets quiet. Everybody is down with their number 2 pencil, and they're like, "Okay, this is what I studied for." Now, it's just I got it all. You know, the cheaters have their stuff like they're trying not to let the answers,
Oh my
you know,
gosh.
sweat off their palms of their
Cheaters.
hands.
Oh my gosh.
And then the nerds are like, I've waited my whole life for this. And then the people that just like memorized it at lunch right before the class are like, okay, nobody talk to me. I
God.
just gotta like
Yeah, you
drop
gotta
it.
go so
Oh.
fast.
Download.
Oh my
Download.
God.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a problem at the university around February because we have this thing called camp out where a lot of the students actually like want basketball tickets specifically for the Duke UNC game. So what they'll do is they'll literally camp out in line for like about a little over a month outside in like January, February.
Oh,
so
it's
it's
cold.
like there could be like snow on the ground. And they're like out there intense. So February comes around and there's a test. The entire room, especially if it's a big room, everybody's like sick because they've been outside for so much. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, you guys killing me. Okay, so let's close this poll out here. Poor T'Pol.
bless you.
Oh.
Whoa.
What
Violent.
happened with T'Pol? Oh, okay.
Oh wait, it's not over yet. You guys, we can hang on to the poll for just a little while longer because it's getting to be a close one.
It is close.
Anyway.
Yeah, I agree with Robert Kaiser. I vote for Fiesel Phlox. She was amazing.
For who?
That's
Phlox's
one
second
of,
wife.
yeah, she's the one who's
Good
like
knowledge.
hitting on Trip. I love her so much. She's so fun, and she's an
Yeah.
awesome scientist, an
Yeah.
engineer.
She was a what?
Well, I don't know if
Scientist,
she was like
engineer.
an engineer, like specifically, but she knew about equipment, so she was
Mm.
like brought on for consulting. She was amazing.
That's what she was
So,
saying on Trip.
well, while we're doing this last one here, real quick, back to the article that we just read the title of the article and then moved on with our lives. Okay,
Oh.
so
Because the polls were so fun.
This is
I
a
can't
great
get enough
point.
of
We
those
did
things.
have an enterprise character. Is that from Cochrane?
Yes, very
That's fun.
nice. But was he in Enterprise or First Contact?
Well, wasn't he
Oh,
like
It was the first
in the
episode.
pilot? Yeah.
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 Fucking Bo, baby.
Oh, right. Yeah, good. Very
and
nice.
a
That's true.
TOS episode.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it's true. Different actor, but yeah.
Okay, so this article reads, the latest episode of Star Trek Lower Decks celebrated Deep Space Nine, including a couple of original cast cameos. And now the showrunner is talking about doing it again with Star Trek Enterprise. McMahon has faith at the heart. In a new interview, okay, let's skip ahead. He says, I'm a huge fan of
Yay!
Star Trek Enterprise, and I would love to work with as much of that cast as possible. I've been trying to figure out a respectful, cool, funny, surprising way to celebrate that show with Lower Decks. And you know, we've had 30 episodes. We haven't gotten there yet. So that's a good point. It's like, look, he's only doing 10 episodes per season. They've only done 30 episodes. The world is their oyster, you know, or what was the thing that the Cisco's were shucking? Not oysters or clams, but those other things.
I thought they were oysters.
There was-
Quahogs. Quahogs, weren't they?
I thought,
I don't remember.
I thought that's a Family Guy made up.
Yeah, but I think
Oh, it's real.
Somebody
It's a kind of clam.
somebody did correct it, and I can't remember what the correct thing was. It was some kind of
yeah, it's a quahog clam. I'm
Shell.
looking it up. Yeah.
yeah.
What's the difference between clams and quahogs? It says the quahog, pronounced quahog, is a species of hard-shelled clam,
That's what I
and the
thought.
one we most commonly enjoy in our chowdas and po' boys. All those other names from Little Neck on up are this
Little
same
Neck.
species of clam and just
Yeah.
refer to how large the clam has grown. Oh boy, that
Ah.
was fun, you guys.
Actually, the ones that come in the little
I had
fried
boyfriend
strips.
from Little Neck. Yeah, those are good.
Mm.
Okay.
Quahog.
Anne Marie, what was it on the main viewer that we got lost on Wikipedia and looked up footsies, or was that on
Oh yeah,
Star Trek?
that was a main viewer article because Memory Alpha, like they're such a fun follow on Twitter, and every day whenever they do a new like addition to Memory Alpha, they'll usually tweet what it is. And one day I got a random tweet at like 3 a.m. It was like Memory Alpha added footsie.
That's amazing.
I was thinking we should add that
Oh
to
my
like Star
God.
Trek and Chill, because
Hilarious.
with the main
Yes.
viewer, we've got way too much stuff to talk about
There was
already on
kind
the
of
main
a funny
viewer.
one this week, but I can't. I'll have to look it up for Friday.
Oh, okay. So let's see. So this last one, let's end the poll here. It was a closey. Phlox gets 46%. T'Pol gets 40%. Admiral Forrest got a little bit of love, so that was nice of whoever
said
that
him
was.
maybe,
whomever.
but like it'd be sad to have him without.
And
for
Saval
sure.
got 6. I'm surprised. I thought Saval would get a little bit more. You know, I mean, he's actually all these people except for Admiral Forrest are people that actually could be alive, you know, in the days of Lower Decks and Picard, because they could be alive, you know, for up to 300 years, it seems.
Well, you can include both Phlox and T'Pol in the final one, since you can
I
put
know.
4 in there. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. Especially because the highest vote getters are Shran with 60, Archer with 51, Phlox with 46, and T'Pol got the wild
Hang it in
card
there.
berth.
Yes.
Okay, you guys ready
Here
for the
it
final?
comes.
Oh my
This is it.
goodness. The suspense.
I know, this is
suspense
crazy. Okay, so we are putting in T'Pol, Shran, Archer, and was it Phlox? Yeah.
It was great, since our trivia question will be an Enterprise one too.
Oh,
Those-
yay.
Oh yeah, beautiful. Those were the 4 highest vote getters, and we are putting them in right now. Which Enterprise character would you most want to see? This is the finals: Shran, T'Pol, Archer, or Phlox, you guys. Okay. Anyway,
Can you imagine Phlox plus Dr.
Archer.
Cha'ana in a scene together?
My gosh,
so fun.
that'd be
Archer?
very fun.
Beat out Trip.
Oh, did I mess that up?
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
no, it
oops.
was Archer. No,
Okay.
Oh,
Archer.
it was? Okay.
Yeah, he had 51 and Trip only had 29.
Oh, okay.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
choose for Archer.
But
Just
that's
because
what
we
happens when you
haven't heard
put
from
2
him in
heavy
forever.
hitters against each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Shran had an easy group.
Yeah.
This is an interesting poll right now, how it's coming in.
Yeah, that is so strange, isn't it, Mohammed?
I would not have predicted this.
the wild card berth, the one
Yeah.
that just that the only one in there that didn't get a first place vote
Mhm. Solidly
or
believe.
votes first place result is the one that is leading. This is just
Wow.
white knuckle action. So while this is going on, Mohammed, will you please read us a trivia question, or should we just save it for the trivia question of the day in like a few minutes? Yeah, we'll
in like
save
4
that.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way.
Everybody stay tuned. We've got the Star Trek Day trivia question of the day. It's not Star Trek Day. It's Muhammad, and it's going to be Enterprise related.
This one's not so hard, because we've had so many really impossible ones. This one's like not so hard. I think multiple people will get it.
Okay. What else do we have? Oh, you guys, we also have to cover, of course, this is probably the biggest news, at least for a lot of us. This was the biggest news of the week. Here's an article also written by our good buddies at trekmovie.com. This was written by Laurie Ulster.
Mhm.
And check this out. It reads, DS9's Nana Visitor and Armin Shimmerman talk emotional Lower Decks moments and Quark's teeth. And it reads, last week, we finally got the long-awaited Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode of Lower Decks, Hear All, Trust Nothing. The visit to the titular space station included appearances from 2 of its well-known inhabitants, Colonel Kira Nerys, and Quark, voiced by the original actors Nana Visitor and Armin Shimmerman. Their DS9 co-star, Sirach Lofton, co-hosts the Seventh Rule podcast and sees the opportunity to invite his former colleagues on to talk about resurrecting their roles 23 years after the DS9 series finale. We have some of the highlights. So this is a very long and interesting and fun article. But what it does is it goes over, what Nana said on our show, The Seventh Rule, with myself and Sirach Lofton, what Armin said, a lot of really cool things. So go check that out. Here's a little screenshot of all of us having a great time. Everyone loved their first glimpse of the station. Nana said something very sweet. Go check out the video. This, by the way, this is on The Seventh Rule. Just go to The Seventh Rule on YouTube, watch it. It's the most recent review of Lower Decks. And the one before that, which we had Mike McMahon on to talk about, since he wrote episode 5 of season 3. So go check out The Seventh Rule review of episode 5 of Lower Decks from season 3, and with Mike McMahon, and episode 6 with Nana and Armin. Really great stuff.
And if you, I guess we might get to it in this article, but starting at minute 15, there's some really beautiful reminiscing about working with Louise Fletcher on the show for 4 minutes, and starting at 50, I think it's like maybe minute 15 to minute 21. It's really beautiful.
Yeah. So skip ahead if you guys want, but there was something really, it kind of started, well, I guess I passed it up. It kind of started when we were asking him what it was like. And and Armin said it felt lonely.
Yeah. And so Sirach then made a really beautiful comment. Sorry to butt in.
No,
but
go ahead.
Sirach was like, you just couldn't help when you're on the station. And I know I felt this too, and I'm sure everybody did. The second you start seeing the prominent nodded things, you just start missing Odo, because that's just, you expect him to come walking down and yelling at people.
At Park.
And then obviously Nog with the legs dangling. But the mention of Renee, it's one of those things where you see some and it just reminds you that we've lost others.
Yeah. So everybody go check that out. I mean, there's so much to cover here, and I wish we had time to go over it all, but it's better for you to go to The Seventh Rule on YouTube and go check out that video. They're T7R2 videos. It's like Seventh Rule 2, because all the new series, we just put it under 2, and then all the Deep Space Nine ones don't have a 2.
And
So
one last thing that Armin announced is that he has the 3rd book in his trilogy, Illyria. That is available for pre-order right now. And you can either get to the link from arminshimmerman.com or his Twitter or jumpmasterpress.com. And when I was on there looking, because I just have the first 2 books so far, I saw you can actually buy the first books. The first book of the 3 is available in audio, which I'm assuming is Armin reading it, although I need to confirm that, because if that's the case, I obviously need to get that.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's close out this poll in
Okay, and
shocking fashion.
There are a lot of
yes,
corrections
Anne-Marie,
too.
go ahead.
Okay, there's a lot of discontent in the live chat, because when you go back and look, it was Trip who had 51%, not Archer.
Ooh, really? So we wrote that down wrong.
Yes, I checked screenshots, and then that is true.
Hang on, I'm scrolling up. Yep, Trip 51 and Archer 29. Okay, well, you guys know what that means.
Tiebreaker.
We gotta
do a tiebreaker between the winner of this poll and
a runoff.
And Trip.
Yeah.
Runoff.
And
I guess
Trip.
that's better. That's a better word than tiebreaker. You're right. It's more like a runoff.
Runoff.
Oh my gosh, what is this?
Well, what's
Brazil?
interesting is, even though Archer got 2nd place in his group, he got second. I mean, what the crazy thing, obviously, is that T'Pol was the only one in this. T'Pol only got 2nd place, but she won this It's all very
So
confusing.
she beat the person who beat her in the previous poll.
Yeah.
Yeah, who beat her?
Oh
in the
my
last
God.
poll? Yeah,
Hashtag
Phlox beat
justice
her,
for
Phlox.
Trick Ryan.
but she got twice as many
Yeah.
as he. This is all very
Oh my
confusing and
gosh.
awesome.
What probably
Oh,
happened is all the people who voted for like Admiral Forrest and all them jumped over to Paul.
My says Ryan is tripping.
Yeah, always.
Quit tripping.
Quit
Okay.
tripping.
What we're really going to do, though, is instead of a runoff, is I'm just going to redo it with the correct person. Instead of Archer, it's going to be Trip. Or should we
completely change all the numbers?
I agree. Robert Kaiser was like Miglimo and Fox should meet. And I totally at first thought that John Billingsley was voicing Miglimo. But yeah, that would be crazy.
Okay. So now, please, Dr. Muhammad Noor, would you read us? Oh, sorry, there's so much going on, and we spend so many times doing poll face on a poll. But I do want to read to you a special message from our good friends over at Paramount Plus. Let's see. They say, because they want to talk about New York City Comic-Con, or I guess just New York Comic-Con. Apparently, that's a pretty big deal nowadays, these Comic-Con conventions. Am I right?
Yeah.
So Saturday is going to be the big day for Star Trek. And here are a few things. Number one is a special Star Trek activation at Javits. Details are still falling into place for this, but there will be a fun Star Trek activation and photo op Saturday afternoon at Javits Center. So stay tuned for more information on that. There's a big Star Trek panel at 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern time. This is all on Saturday, October 8th. The teams behind Star Trek Discovery, Star Trek Prodigy, and Star Trek Picard will all join the official Star Trek panel, including the original cast of Star Trek The Next Generation, coming together to discuss the final season of Picard. Lastly,
which can be viewed on Pop Culture or some Popverse or something. There's information on at NYCC telling you how to watch it virtually.
Cool.
Nobody better tell me how to watch.
I
watch
oh my God,
however
are we
I
gonna
want.
be on TNG cast? I can't even wait.
Yeah, it's going to be glorious. And then we've got lastly a group fan photo op at 6 p.m. to 6:30 Eastern time. For any fans who are interested, they would love to gather you for a group photo op after the Star Trek panel. Additionally, there may be an opportunity to record brief video interviews for a limited number of fans on a first come, first served basis. So there's going to be more information on that, but just know that it's going to be a lot going on Saturday with Star Trek by Star Trek at Paramount Plus. It's going to be big
So
fun.
I'm gonna also have to add Thursday morning at 10:45. Chase Masterson has a panel with
Good call.
Oh,
Pop
yes,
Culture Hero
please.
Coalition. And then she's going to be signing autographs after that. So she's only there on Thursday. So make sure you stop by and see Chase Masterson then if you're.
So this is
in New York.
Thursday at 10:45 a.m.
That's her panel,
Chase
yeah.
Masterson's panel.
So 2
Awesome.
days
Wow,
from
that's
now.
great.
I can't even wait.
Wow, that is very soon. Can you go ahead and tweet us the information at Virtual TrekCon and we'll retweet it. So anybody could just go to Virtual TrekCon on Twitter at Virtual TrekCon and get all that information, because we love Chase Masterson and we definitely want everybody to go support and check that out.
Yes.
Love Rob Mayer's comment. Turns out the Riker Enterprise holodeck program was written by Seska. Or she had that fake one with, or actually, no, I guess she didn't have a fake one. She edited Tuvok's holodeck program to make it so that everybody got trapped and fighting with the Maquis and stuff.
And I also agree with Mai that I would love to see T'Pol and Trip and kids.
And kids.
I feel
yes.
like T'Pol and Trip, the beauty of their relationship is like their total is better than, like the sum is better. The total is better than
Everybody say it with me. That's
each of their
synergy.
parts. Yeah, totally. It made me like love each of them more. Really brought out something beautiful in each of them.
Good point. Okay, so let's close out these polls. We got to move on.
Yeah,
Trip
pretty solid winner.
dominated. Everybody found me out when I tried to sneak him out of it to make it more fair. But Trip finished with 60% of the votes. T'Pol with 23. Shran and Phlox both had 7. how did Phlox beat T'Pol in their poll, but then T'Pol got 3 times as many votes as Phlox in? You guys, Star Trek is
Sometimes-
crazy.
It could be the people,
Sometimes
again, the people who voted for
people-
Admiral Flores jumped over. Yeah.
Right.
I think I
And
voted for
some-
different ones for time. It's hard to decide.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes people change their mind.
It's
Oh,
very-
Anne-Marie, did you get a screenshot of our finale?
You know, I got a screenshot of all of them because we found
Ugh.
out that when you go
What a
back and look at the
relief.
live chats later, it takes the polls out of them.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Yeah, north and south. Okay, Mohammed, will you please give us this Enterprise trivia question that we keep teasing and interrupting you on?
This one's not so hard. So I think a decent number of people will get it. So it's multiple choice, 4 choices. The question is, where was the Vulcan monastery that turned out to be a spy outpost in Enterprise? Where was the Vulcan monastery that turned out to be a spy outpost in Enterprise? Was it first, Navak, second, Pijem, third, Scalos, or fourth, Talani Prime? I'll give the choices again. A, Navak, B, Pijem, C, Scalos, or D, Talani Prime?
Novak Djokovic. Okay.
Those are all Trek
Where did we
Trek
hear-
places.
Didn't we hear about Talani Prime somewhere recently again?
We've heard all of those in some Trek.
Okay, so everybody, while you are putting in your answers in the live chat or in the comments below, please go over to the 7th rule after this video, because right now we are going to give you all the information of the week, starting with the 7th rule. Just released our full review of Deep Space Nine, Season 7, Episode 13, Field of Fire, with writer-producer Robert Hewitt-Wolf joining myself and Sirach. You got to check that out because remember, Robert Hewitt-Wolf was part of the writer team for the first 5 seasons of Deep Space Nine, and then he went off to go do other things. He came back in the middle of Season 7 to write this one episode. So finally, Robert has returned to Deep Space Nine, and we snagged him for that one episode. And he's such a great guest. Go check it out. It's on the 7th Rule YouTube channel. It's episode 184. And it is our review of Field of Fire. Then tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific, that is 9 p.m. Eastern time. You guys, it's October. So Falling Towers, Watch the First podcast is beginning horror month. And we are starting with the first episode of American Horror Story. Mohammed is our special guest host. And the aforementioned Neil Patrick Stevens is our very special guest because he is a horror writer, producer, director. He makes great movies. Sometimes I get to produce them for him, and it's tons of fun. Love working with him. So check that out. That is tomorrow, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about American Horror Story.
What is the box one that you produced with him?
Oh, is that the
The
one, where
one
they're,
with
like,
the
in
box?
basement?
Yeah, what was that called?
It's really
Face Your
good.
Fears. It's called
Oh, yeah,
Face
yeah.
Your Fears. Everybody go
You
check
should
that
go
out.
watch
Face
it.
Your Fears.
Yeah, so good.
That was a fun one to do. We got some really cool historic old mansion, LA mansion, and has all this really cool historic, it looks like you're walking into some old turn of the century palm readers place or where they do seances or weird stuff like that. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
And
go check that out.
creepy.
And also on the 7th Rule channel on Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we will have our review of Lower Deck Season 3, Episode 7. That'll be the 7th Rule, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. Then Friday, of course, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, right back here on the virtual TrekCon channel. It's going to be Star Trek and chill. We don't have any more crisps to enjoy, but we got plenty of beverages and lots of Star Trek to discuss. So check that out. We'll see you at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time on this channel, virtual TrekCon. Lastly, this coming Sunday, what is that, like the 11th or the 8th? 9th. Yeah, Sunday, the October 9th, probably.
Those dates.
Yeah.
At 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern time, we will release the first segment of our review of Deep Space Nine, Season 7, Episode 18, Till Death Do Us Part, on the 7th rule. That's myself, Sirach, Melissa will be there as well. Go check it out. We'll see you then. And now, Muhammad, what is the answer to that radical question? Do you guys have any guesses, Melissa or Anne-Marie?
I know the
Only-
answer, but
Only cheating from what everybody else said, because
it's
I don't remember names all the time. So
it's pajamas and shadows of.
That's right.
But,
There's an episode later called Shadows of
yeah.
Pajem. Somebody asked in the
Um,
chat if I said Navak or Navar for the first choice. I did say Navak with the K, not the Navar.
Interesting.
So
But
it's
I
different.
remembered where I heard when I looked up. I was like, what's the woman? I like was like Talani Prime. I just hear like an annoying woman constantly saying that. It's from the Armageddon game, that Deep Space Nine episode with the
Exactly.
harvesters. Right, and everybody has like the crazy hairdos.
Yeah. Somebody commented about Scalos in the chat saying, "Don't drink the water." That's right. That's a TOS reference there. The Scalosian water makes you speed up and then you become
Amazing.
invisible and stuff like that. And you're going super fast relative to everybody else. So,
Great life hack.
whoa.
yeah. Yeah, the correct answer was Pajem, which most people got. A few people said I don't remember, but most people who answered it correctly.
Mine said pajamas. So
Pajamas.
I'm assuming that was the correct answer.
I worded the question
Such
carefully
a
because it
good
said,
episode.
yeah, I worded the question carefully because it said, where was it? I didn't say what planet it was because it was never
Right.
quite clear.
If it's a moon or like
Exactly. Is it a moon or is it a planet or is it a place? So I just said where.
planetoid.
Yeah, I'll just say where and avoid that problem.
Love that. That episode is amazing.
It's very good.
Uh,
It's our first
Gem
first
is
time seeing
truly
Shram.
outrageous.
Shram.
Exactly.
Is it?
Yes. It's such a standout.
All right. Well, I think that's about it, everybody. Thanks for playing with us. We'd like to say thanks to Puka Hare. Am I pronouncing that right? Puka Hare or Puka Hare, Linda Anderegg, Jim Westbrook, live from Tokyo out in Kentucky. David Gregory, Glenn Iverson, welcome back. Peter C. Dropping some toy maker in Doctor Who 60th knowledge. I don't know what it means, but it means something, I bet. Rob Marr, did we say David Gregory? David Gregory, Faith Howell. It's been a great time, everybody. BL, welcome back. Thanks for playing with us. Melissa Longo, where can everybody find you online, should you choose to be found?
At Melissa Longo on social media, and the Introverted Republic, Walking Art Made by Melissa is there. And yeah, and all of this fun stuff.
Puka Hare says it's hair, but isn't that also how Hare Krishna spelled at Hare? That's why I got confused. I didn't know if that was Hare. What about you, Muhammad?
I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Mafnoor, M like Michael, A F like Frank, Noor, and like November, OOR, or on YouTube as Biotrekkie, BIOTREKKIE. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Anne-Marie Siegel, do you know that on the West Coast we have something called Beverages and More? You are missing out on the East Coast, you guys.
Bevmo. I learned about that from you.
From Eve England, I believe.
Yeah. Twitter at Anne-Marie Siegel 1.
Easy.
Mhm.
And y'all can find me on Twitter at Ryan TG Husk. TG, you know the middle name. Actually, my first name, Ryan's the middle name. You can also find me on Virtual TrekCon, Falling Tower, or The Seventh Rule. That's on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. Just go find one of those things, and I'll be there. Probably, maybe. But thanks for the fun, you guys. It's been a great time. We will see. Ooh, Puka says it's an Irish mythical beastie. Nice.
Ooh,
Ooh, we'll have to look that up.
yeah.
Any final thoughts, Anne-Marie, while I look this up?
Not much. I'm just starting to see like the initial pictures come in from Javits Center, which is where I got me and me and Kate Mulgrew got our COVID shots there. But
Oh, nice.
Oh,
so
COVID
I'm like
besties.
really excited to go. It's like such good memories. But they're starting to put up the decoration, or the decorations have been put up, and there's some massive Star Trek banners, kind of like the ones that were at San Diego Comic-Con with like
Aw.
a character from each of the new series. So there's definitely a big Star Trek presence.
Here's the
Oh my
cute puka hair.
gosh, scary.
Cutie.
That's like a
Oh, it's
short,
just a little
that's Mirror Universe
floaty guy.
shore leave.
Shore leave. I love that description.
The hair has landed, or the hair is landing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah,
All right.
great.
Thanks very much, guys. We will see you all soon. We appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us. And, when you're looking for weird bunnies with stuff called puka hair, put it on the main viewer. And a lot of polls, by the way.